The quarterfinals, ladies and gentlemen, this is the round of 8 of the I Beg to Differ Nigeria Info Abuja edition. It's the first time we're having it here in the Federal Capital, and the prize money is 1 million naira for any boy or girl who gives our judges that level of excitement. 1 million naira worth with their points, their presentation, their clarity, their confidence, their energy is required. So there's a lot at stake here because this is the round of 8. The round of 16 was the playoff, and it was Kids Glove. We pampered you, but you're getting close to the prize money, and then we're saying, oh boy, these children will go, one child will go for 1 million. Right? You start to daydream of what you do with 1 million, and then the stake go higher.
Mm-hmm. So that means the presentations need to be better. The points have to be bigger.
Convincing.
Everything.
If you confuse me with your points, I will not be happy. Convince me with them.
Okay.
So convincing point to the round of 8 as we start with the very first set of our debaters. The round of 8, we're looking at topics, motions that you can relate with at home. And I want you to set your emotions aside. Like, ooh, she's so young. Ooh, he's so cute. For those of you who are watching on YouTube and Facebook and leaving all kinds of parental comments like, ooh, look like my little son. No. The doggy dog world. I'm not saying it to scare you guys, but you need to be ready because this is the round of 8 and it's the quarterfinal. One person will scale through, the other person, well, you've put in so much work, so give us the reason to scale through. So, are you ready, Abuja? All right, everybody's quiet. Thanks to PressPay NG, we pay, you pay for supporting the debate with all the funding and the finance. And remember, they support student education in Nigeria. Thanks to 3J's Restaurant and Hotel for ensuring that we have that aspect sorted. Thank you very much. Call to Fly Travels and Tour. Thank you for partnering with us to ensure that we take the top 4 winners to Lagos to represent the Federal Capital. And don't forget 1 million naira for the boy or girl who wins here in the Federal Capital. And as we get to the quarterfinal, we get closer and closer to the prize money. Well, my name is Kimberly. Somi here.
Somi. Yes.
Yeah, we are your moderators.
And timekeeper.
Yep. And we have Mahzeeda Dahiru, researcher, columnist, and tech team lead of Luxterra Leadership Foundation as one of our judges. Irene Bangwell, co-founder of NOSC 100 Naira a Day School in Kuje. She's a coach and a girl coach also, is also one of our key judges. And together, they would ensure that we give to the very finest and the best. Well, not the best, but you could have a good day. And let's hope that good day will end you that 1 million naira. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So if you're ready for the round of 8, go to YouTube, go to Facebook and join. Leave your comment. Look into the studio. You see the debaters pretty much seated. Let's just introduce them and something you need to know about them just before we hand out what part of the motion they will be on. We have Oma-Benedi Excel. He's 13-year-old from Government Science Secondary School, Piakasa in Maitama, and he scaled through the round of 16 to make it back here in the studio. Excel, you're welcome. Last week, Excel took on the topic social media in Nigeria should be regulated. He came out with 33 points. Let's see how he performed today. We also have Adeyanju Mahzeeda from Community Secondary School in Asokoro. Mahzeeda is 16 and she scales through to the round of 8. Welcome, Mahzeeda. Last week, Mahzeeda scaled through 32 points looking at social media negative impact on the mental health of teenagers. And they are facing off each other today with something very topical that I feel even the parents at home would be debating it and asking themselves real questions. Agriculture will be a more viable economic option than oil for Nigeria is the motion. Are we all on the same page? Same topic?
Yes, well.
All right then.
All right. So let's have you decide whether you're going to be arguing for or against the motion. And as always, we ask you to come here prepared for either of them. So let's have you pick and see what you're going to be arguing for.
And remember, there will be 3 segments, which is the presentation, the rebuttal, and the closing, just like we did at the playoffs, round of 16. And the judges are going to look at quite a lot of things where they give their score. At the presentation, they'll look at your number, quality, originality of unique points made, clarity of your thought. The eloquence of your presentation is critical. At the rebuttal, they'll look at the number of points you got from your opponent that you addressed, the strength of the argument of your rebuttal, the clarity of your thought. Your eloquence is what we'll also look at. And the closing, all of this will come to play also. So, are you ready to give us all you've got for the finals?
Yes, ma'am.
All right then.
Okay, game faces are on. Let's be sure that you are audible as well. You want to adjust the mic so that, there you go. Okay. Are you sure you don't want to put your headphones back on?
It's confusing me.
All right.
We
Good.
wouldn't want to have you confused.
Not at all.
All right, so who's supporting the motion?
I am.
Okay, Mahzeeda is supporting the motion and Excel is going to beg to differ. So we'll be starting with you, Mahzeeda. You know how this works? 3 minutes. Are you ready to make the most of it?
Yes, ma'am.
There we go. All right, your time starts now.
Oil has been the backbone of Nigeria's economy for decades. I strongly believe this should not be the case as Nigeria is blessed with arable land, rich soil, and favorable climate. It is high time Nigeria harnesses the power in her soil. Good day, Mr. Chairman, panel of judges, accurate timekeeper, co-debate to our members of the audience. My name is Adeyanju, and today I would like to say I firmly support the motion which states that agriculture will be a more viable economic option than oil. Firstly, I would like to start by letting you know that in Nigeria, agriculture was the major economic activity before the emergence of oil in the late 1960s. Ever since the discovery of this oil, Nigeria has been overly dependent on it. They have been dependent on it for decades, and they will continue to be dependent on it for more decades to come if nothing is done about this. This lack of diversification has impeded our economic growth and our economic development. Agriculture provides diversification opportunities. It reduces our economy's reliance on a single commodity, that is oil. It also stimulates our economic growth, our development, our stability, and it boosts our gross domestic product. Again, according to the National Bureau of Statistics, abbreviated NB, probably known as NBS, agriculture has accounted for 25.5% of employment in Nigeria in 2020, second only to trade and commerce, which has accounted for 32.6%. This simply means that agriculture has provided significant employment opportunities for Nigerians. It has stimulated rural development, it has reduced rural-urban migration, and much more. Again, I must let you know that oil is a non-renewable resource, and meaning that its depletion at end is inevitable. Agriculture, on the other hand, is a renewable resource. It is a sustainable option for economic growth in Nigeria. As crops can be grown, harvested, regrown, and harvested again, this brings about continuous source of employment. Oil has been here for decades, but I really think that we should explore agriculture, and it increases our diversification opportunities, employment opportunities, and so much more. It is a sustainable option for our economic growth, and we should look into it. Thank you.
Mahzeeda there with the opening argument. She's supporting the motion that agriculture is a more viable option for economic development in Nigeria. And she did that with about 37 seconds to spare. We'll see what Excel has to say about that in his opening argument. Excel?
Indeed, Excel had this look in his eyes, like he was thinking far. We're looking at the rice pyramid. I don't know, but it's not... not like I can read these things. But let's get to Excel's presentation, though, and see what he has to say. You beg to differ, so you do not agree on this particular motion. Let's hear why.
All right, Excel, your 3 minutes starts now.
Imagine the lifeblood of our nation, the rich black gold that has fueled our dreams and progress. Oil, with its reservoirs deep beneath our soil, is not merely a commodity, but a force that propels our nation forward. It has funded our roads, our schools, and our hospitals. But before I present my argument, I extend warm greetings to the esteemed judges, distinguished moderators, adept timekeeper, co-debater, dedicated staff of Nigeria Info FM, and valued listeners and viewers tuning in. I am Oma-Benedi Excel of Government Science Secondary School, Piakasa, in Maitama, and I stand firmly against the motion that insists that agriculture will be a more viable economic option than oil for Nigeria. My co-debater has made undeniable points on why agriculture does have its merits. The assertion that it will surpass oil in terms of economic viability is nothing but a sham, as the economic resilience and the future prospects of Nigeria are not supported by agriculture. Secondly, agriculture does have its benefits, but Nigeria's oil infrastructure has been well developed, and the industry in itself has attracted billions of naira and dollar in form of investments, making it a more developed and robust sector in comparison to agriculture. Furthermore, oil provides for foreign exchange for Nigeria, as the earnings made from these foreign exchanges strengthen global ties and provide funds for food imports and ensures the development of our economy. Agriculture cannot sustain these because it is not a sustainable means of growing, even if you might argue that yes, we can recycle plants, this and that. But I'd like to identify that agriculture is faced with too many current problems that we cannot address without the help of international powers. Nextly, I'd like to identify that oil has been a very significant revenue generator, contributing significantly to the gross domestic product, or GDP, of Nigeria, and contributing to our government's income. This revenue from oil exports accounts for over 90% of Nigeria's total revenue, ensuring a substantial and steady income flow. Fourthly, I'd like to say that agriculture, unlike oil, is not sustainable, because at the current moment we are looking for the best and most suitable way to better our economy, and by investing in agriculture we won't be able to do that, because fourthly, technological advancements in the oil sector and scientific discoveries affirm the efficient mining and refining of oil, ensuring a steady flow in the production of petroleum and its byproducts, ensuring the stability of trade and ensuring economic growth and stability for Nigeria. Lastly, I'd like to speak on the fact that oil in itself ensures the development in our country, because it provides a wide area and employs higher paying jobs and more skilled labor, which will encourage our youth to indulge in more enlightenment to better their future. I believe that oil is going to be the most prosperous future for Nigeria.
All right, the time is up. Excel, 3 minutes. Excel is not buying this agricultural business at all with his argument, saying no, it is still pretty much oil for the near foreseeable future. You've had their presentation, Abuja. You listened in, you saw them live, watching through YouTube and Facebook, and how they comported themselves to present their argument. I think even the moderator in the studio, we were just spellbound, just looking from one to the other as they mesmerize us with their presentation. So we're done with the first round of it, and we move on to the rebuttal. We get to see how much of the opponent's points each of them were able to pick out and what argument they will make based on that. You think they listened?
I think they did.
Yeah.
I think they did.
I am confident they did, because, you'll be losing a lot of points if you did not.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll go on a quick break. Give them time to just catch their breath, put their thoughts together and their points together, and whatever charisma they came into the studio with together, as we get to hear their rebuttal. It's I Beg to Differ Nigeria Info edition of it. And don't forget, the prize money is 1 million naira. So as you listen to the debate, think about the prize money. Keep emotions aside as you evaluate their performance today. Thanks to PressPay NG, 3J's Restaurant and Call to Fly would ensure that 4 people are sent to Lagos, 1 person makes 1 million naira, and they do us proud altogether.
I Beg to Differ. Going back. talk about something.
Nigeria Info Abuja edition of
I beg to differ.
I Beg to Differ.
I Beg to Differ student debate is back on. It's opened. And
16 active, intelligent, brilliant debaters for the I Beg to Differ debate.
Back on track right now.
and you can be a part of it. If you are a secondary school student, you are a
13 to 16.
you can compete for a grand prize of
1 million naira.
so registration is open right now. And
If you go to our site, you see the debate questions. You give for and against in terms of your argument.
once you do that, you'll be required to upload a 4 minutes audio recording of yourself, 2 minutes arguing in favor, and 2 minutes arguing against.
Don't forget that there will be amazing prizes that will come with the I beg to differ.
And the winner, aside from getting 1 million naira from here, will also participate in the national debate.
Get a chance to represent the FCT and be flown to Lagos to compete in the grand finale.
Going to happen live. Yes, thank you to Presspay NG, 3J's Restaurant, Hotels, and Call to Fly Travels and Tour for supporting us on the very first edition of the I Beg to Differ debate, where we have some brilliant students, 13 to 16, from the Federal Capital, slug it out here in the studio live, where you can watch them on Facebook and YouTube at Nigeria Info Abuja. If you are not watching, go straight to Facebook, go straight to YouTube, leave your comment, tell us what you make of their debates, their points, their clarity, their eloquence, their confidence as they argue some of those points. The motion today is on agriculture, a more viable economic option than oil for Nigeria. Mahzeeda supports the motion, yes, while Oma-Benedi Excel begs to differ, and they have given us their presentation. Let's look at some comment quickly before we get to the rebuttal.
Okay, we have been having quite the laugh here because our listeners are just amazing. Usang for God says the round of 8 has lived up to its standard, as the two kids have confused me about who is better. I don't envy Dr. Mahzeeda at all because of the task ahead of him to choose the best. Great minds indeed. And then we have Akukini T. Samson, who says, Jesus, where I did when I was their age. I was in the village going from one mango tree to the other. Rogboha Edwin says, good to see our young ones developing in programs like this. Well done, Nigeria Info.
Katie Omawe is even more mind blown. The fact that he said the clarification that they picked the side to debate for and against randomly in the studio. He thought they picked their position, then argued, then come up with their point. But the brilliance of this debate and why the debaters are excellent is because they can argue any side. It's also me hand them the papers on the spot. They will decide what side they would argue on. So you have to prepare for all sides. That's the brilliance of it. It says these children prepare for both sides of the coin. I'm impressed by their presentation. The debate continues to be better and more robust from each set. God bless them and all of you who put this together. Okay, Aliyu, we see your comment. It says good argument from both parties. Thank you very much for that. Good afternoon, Ma. Good afternoon to your colleague. I most appreciate you all this afternoon. This was from the last set of it. It was talking about the girl loving her confidence. We like that. That was from the last round of 16. This is the round of 8. These guys are closer to it.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Right, Chimezia agrees. He said the round of 8 indeed stronger and more vibrant. And just so that you understand just how exciting and nerve-wracking, I would say, I can't say for the children, of course, but for myself, have been wringing my hands back and forth. And it's like when we came back on air, I took a deep breath on their behalf. I'm like, okay, let's go. But I like the fact that they are unfazed and they are ready. And I guess we shouldn't keep them waiting any longer.
Oh, no, not at all. I don't want them to forget the point each other made at this point in time. So let's get to the rebuttal. This time around, they'll pick out the points made by the opponent and argue based on that, standing on their motion. So, are we ready?
Yes, who gets to start?
We'll start with whoever you pick.
Okay.
Mahzeeda, maybe?
Let's have Mahzeeda start then. Hi, Mahzeeda.
Hello.
There we go. All right, you have 3 minutes to give us your rebuttal. Make good use of your time, I would say. And your time starts now.
My co-debater called oil black gold. I see it as black poison. Have you seen what is going on in Port Harcourt, in places where they extract oil from? Study on existing protocols. I remain Adeyanju Mahzeeda, and I'm here to rebut some of my opponent's points. He made a point on oil accounting for over 90% of our foreign exchange earnings. I feel like this should not be a good point, because it's a disaster that will happen inevitably. I've said that oil is a non-renewable resource, meaning that its end is it's inevitable. It will end one day. Imagine waking up in the morning and be like, okay, Nigeria's supply of oil has finished. Delta, Port Harcourt, no oil left. What do we do? And this oil that we extract has spoiled our land. Oil spillage everywhere, destroyed our lands. What else do we have to offer? And this is why I say agriculture provides diversification opportunities. You cannot only put your entire mind on one product, a single commodity, for God's sake. Again, I would like to say, you said a point about it being a major export product. Okay, don't you think it's sad that we use the money that we gain from our export of oil to import back refined oil? I think it's really depressing. And the fact that we have arable land, we also import food items from other countries. That's just sad. You said higher paying jobs. It provides, it gives employment opportunities, and the jobs are higher paying. What about the masses? I will have you know that agriculture accounts for 70% of employment opportunities in rural areas. We never focus on rural areas. We only think about urban. Why do you think people are running away from our rural areas? If we give opportunities for agriculture, it will develop our rural and urban areas. There are opportunities for farmers, there are opportunities for farm investors, for skilled labor, white collar jobs. We have white collar jobs, we have brown collar jobs. Oil, it only gives higher paying jobs. Sorry. He said again that oil exploration is that we engage in oil mining, and I say that it has disastrous effects on our environment. Agriculture is sustainable. Agriculture is sustainable. It's environmental friendly. Oil is not environmental friendly. It releases fumes to our environment, depletes our ecosystem, and so much more. Do you really think your argument your argument isn't really strong? I must say. Thank you.
Nice. Mortal Kombat, finish him.
And leaving him with a question to answer as well.
And something to ponder about his argument. It's not really strong. You tell your opponent that and he starts to what have I been doing all this while? You mean I've not convinced this girl and the judges? Well, I would hear what he has to say.
Indeed. Hi, Excel.
Hello.
All right, then. Excel is not even looking anywhere else. He's tunnel vision, And
he understands that it's not a joke.
It's not a joke. Okay. All right, then, Excel. Your 3 minutes for your rebuttal starts now.
I remain Oma-Benedi Excel of Government Science Secondary School, Piakas, and I remain standing on existing protocol. I'd like to help my co-debater up because she seems to have stumbled in some places. Firstly, she said that agriculture accounts for 25% of Nigeria's workforce. But in the later times of the debate, she said that it accounts for 70%. But regardless, I'd like to identify that the amount of Nigeria's workforce which is employed in the oil sector offer higher paying jobs and more skilled labor for our country, Nigeria, which in future prospects ensures that we'll continue developing and we won't be static due to the staticity of agriculture. As I would like to embody on your point that you said agriculture is renewable. The renewability of agriculture makes us static. It doesn't open us up to a world of possibility. It keeps us focused on the fact that we are growing, we are harvesting, and we are growing all over again. There is no progress. There is no significant development in the systems of agriculture. Secondly, you spoke on the revenue that agriculture generates. What good is a job if you can't provide for your food, your shelter, and your clothing? Agriculture, you may choose to say it, but it's only for subsistence farming. And for those who may choose to engage in industrial farming, it will supply very well for them because most of those who are in the market are relying on agriculture, and it has proven to not be a substantial and constant means of income to supply for their daily needs. But the oil industry in itself provides for each and these needs constantly because it provides each and every Nigerian who chooses to indulge wisely in the oil industry with the proper amount of income necessary to sustain themselves in the Nigeria of today. Secondly, she chose to speak on the fact that I say that oil damages the environment. Well, as I earlier stated, there have been technological advancements and scientific discoveries in in the oil industry. Take hydraulic fracking, for instance. Hydraulic fracking is a process by which we can mine and refine oil safer, more efficiently, and it is less environmentally damaging. So that makes you contradict yourself by saying that oil harms the environment. You also say that oil is a finished resource, but agriculture in itself is problemed with the poor irrigation, tenor farming, the ability of soil to lose its fertility. So we both face the same problem, but I believe that by proper investment in the oil sector, we can avoid this. And you say diversifying our economy. Diversifying our economy by indulging in agriculture won't be a substantial means of bettering the lives of the everyday Nigeria, because agriculture at the current time in Nigeria isn't profitable enough. But rather than reviewing agriculture as a replacement, I think we can view it as a complementary sector to the oil industry rather than a replacement, because by developing our oil industry, the revenues from this can go into developing and modernizing our agriculture. And I believe that this balanced approach will ensure an economic stability and growth for each and every Nigerian. Thank you.
There we go.
You know, right now I'm grateful I am just a moderator and not one of the judges. Because this round of 8 is on fire. Boy, did Mahzeeda and Excel come in to just give us a reason to rethink this debate? And how we go about it, because they just came in on assuming. I was like, these people don't know saying a round of 8 with it. Then when they opened their mouth,
It was gloves off.
I was goosebumps were just coming from right and left
Okay.
and right.
Diana
It was a
going
good
saying,
match.
I caught Somi holding her breath. Yes, yes, I was.
you know when you're going through a turbulence in a flight and you're holding on, you had that turbulence moment because they were just like a storm. All right. We see your comment. We see all of you and what you have to say. And for those who haven't, joined virtually, go live. Facebook, YouTube, we're streaming, guys. See Mahzeeda in our element. See Excel in his element. Hear them discuss this point. You've missed 2 segments already from the fiery debate between these 2 amazing debaters on agriculture being a viable economic option for Nigeria. And did they convince us with the argument? Yes. Well, I was buying it left, right, and center. It's left for the judges, impartial judges, to decide what they make of it. We're done with the rebuttal. We'll go on a quick break, and when we return, it will be the closing for both of them. 3 minutes each on I Beg to Differ, round of 8, quarterfinal, close to the 1 million prize money, and the best 4 will represent the federal capital in Lagos for the national. PressPay NG, 3J's Restaurant and Hotel, Quarter Flight Travels and Tour are our big partners for this debate. Thank you to them.
Thank you.
I Beg to Differ. Going back.
Abuja, get ready for I Beg to Differ debate.
Audio Jungle.
It's the round of 8. It's getting hot in here. Can feel the tension from the debaters in the studio. Mahzeeda Adeyanju from Community Secondary School. Oma-Benedi Excel from Government Science Secondary School, Piakasa in Maitama. Both debating on the motion, agriculture is a more viable economic option than oil for Nigeria. Mahzeeda supports the motion. Oma-Benedi Excel begs to differ. We're in the finals at the moment. And thanks to PressPay NG, 3J's Restaurants and Tour, Call to Fly Travels and Tour, we'll get to see how they play this closing.
All right, let's get down to the final round of arguments from each of you. This time around, we are going to be starting with Excel. Your closing arguments, Excel, are you ready? Okay then, your time starts now.
I'm Oma-Benedi Excel of Government Science Secondary School, Piaka Summit, and I appreciate this platform to lend my voice. My co-debator spoke on the fact that oil is damaging to our environment and is finite. But I'd like to say that agriculture might also be the same, because it is the decaying of agricultural produce that later forms the crude oil. So I believe that by balancing the approach between crude oil and agriculture, we can create a safer means of creating our economy. Next, ensure that we have a strong stand in the global trade market, because by emulating Saudi Arabia, who by exploring the vast opportunities of crude oil has improved her wealth immensely. In conclusion, while agriculture does hold promise for Nigeria, it is not yet a viable economic option for Nigeria. By prioritizing agriculture, we'll be creating detriments and we'll be creating contradictions in our system of economy. And I believe that by prioritizing oil and developing on the already built infrastructure, we can improve the substantial economic growth, job creation, and also economic development. Moving on, I'd like to say that rather than replacing oil with agriculture, a balanced approach between the two will also ensure the growth of the securing of a resilient future for Nigerians, a thriving nation for the world to see, and lastly, proper economic growth and development and the betterment of the life of every single Nigerian who the government is responsible for. Thank you.
All right, Excel is done with his closing. It's time for us to hear what Mahzeeda has to say.
Okay, Mahzeeda, bring your closing argument. Time starts now.
Still starting on existing protocols, I remain Adeyanju Mahzeeda. In my opponent's rebuttal, he mentioned that I said that agriculture accounts for 25.5% of employment in Nigeria. Yes, this is true. But did you hear me when I said 70%? It accounts for 70% of rural employment. Okay, I'm just letting you know that in case you didn't hear. He also said that he also contradicted himself a while ago. He said agriculture. Sorry. He said adapt. See a balanced view of both of them. Sorry. I would also like to say that we have been in the oil business for decades, yet we are not among the top producing countries. Look at Saudi Arabia, Iran. They are thriving, but we are not. If we keep on focusing on oil as our lifeline, we are going to go down, and it's going to go down really badly. He also said that decaying agricultural produce as what forms our crude oil. Have you ever heard of biomass? This is the use of decaying agricultural produce to create energy in a safer way. Crude oil burns and releases carbon to our atmosphere. It causes degradation of our atmosphere and our environment. But by using biomass, we can generate energy in a very safe way. To conclude, I would like to say that seeing oil as our lifeline is a utopian dream, and we all have to wake up and realize that agriculture is the future of our country. Sure, yeah, we can balance the both, yes, but agriculture, we have been blessed with land. We have refused to use it for years and years. We will only become knowledgeable to the fact that we can use this land when our oil is done and finished. I feel like by then it'll be too late. Let's start investing in infrastructures now. Let's start putting the same amount of effort we put in oil in agriculture, and then you will see that agriculture can compete globally, it can compete with oil. It will do better than oil, and I just have to say this is such a substantial option for our economic growth and development. It will boost our gross domestic products and a lot more. I urge you to see it as the same way too. Agriculture for a more prosperous tomorrow. Thank you.
I feel like Mahzeeda is going to brand, aside from the I beg to differ t-shirt she's wearing, agriculture for a more prosperous tomorrow will be behind. Like ambassador for agriculture in Nigeria.
I mean, the way she put forth the points, you would expect that. But really, really sound closing, I would say, from both of you. Well done, but it's up to the judges to decide who goes on to the round of 4. But so far, so good. Well done.
I mean, you guys opened the round of 8 with the energy we've been looking for from the minute this debate started. I'm just so excited about the start of the round of 8. I hope all of us are able to challenge other debaters at home and those who are waiting. Keep the energy up. The standard has been set by these 2 debaters. Do not drop the ball. I repeat, do not drop the ball.
Do not.
All right, so they're done with the presentation. We've had their rebuttal. We've had their closing. And we'll wait for the judges to decide what happens next. The prize money, 1 million naira. 4 of the best debaters, they head to Lagos to represent us at the National. All right, then.
Let's take some comments, if we can. I mean, just to think that we've had a range of emotions so far from the listeners. We've had people who have felt nostalgic.
You see the beautiful part?
Yes.
They are torn. Everybody's like, oh, I don't envy the judges. But previously, they were like, no, it's this person. But right now, everybody's like, we don't know again. The judges, Dr. Majid is there, right? He is. Irene Bangwe is also there. So we'll leave it to them.
A lot of work on their hands. But I mean, so far, some listeners have been moved to tears. Some listeners have been taken back in time to when they were climbing mango trees as opposed to doing other things. And then there's us here in the studio just soaking in all of it. All right, then, while we wait for the judges to come up.
I can understand why it's taking some time. Do you think we're going to get a tiebreaker?
There just might. I don't know. Let me not go there.
Lucky us, we're just here to moderate. Bello Emmanuel Goodluck says the 2 really need to be in Lagos. Arum Joseph said they are too good, both should get to the finals. Arum Joseph, you shouldn't have paired these 2 together. It's very sad that one of them might have to go home. Okay, this is getting emotional for Arum Joseph. I feel like he's sobbing at this point. But why?
Taiwo Adilashoye says these are the brains we need to encourage and support in Nigeria. Kudos Nigeria Info, best station in Nigeria. Well, thank you.
Right, people, we'll take your calls. Remember, don't mention name, don't tell us, just give a general assessment of it because we don't have the verdict from our judges yet. It's taking time for obvious reasons. If it's me, you would have given me 3 business days to compute it. So let's allow them do their job. Let's take phone calls. Keep it generic. We don't want you to mention names until our judge is coming so that we don't sway the vote. Remember, INEC has to call before you declare. You get it. Oh, no, let's not use INEC. I don't want controversy here. Our impartial judges need to call before you run to town with your own verdict. All right? So, call us up on 0700 951 0000 0809 5974 869 or 0809 9930 137. 1 minute tops.
Hello? 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 Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, hello. We're going to need you to speak up, please. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Tony, I'm calling from Asokoro.
Welcome, Tony. Go ahead.
Yes. Team, good afternoon.
Welcome, Tony.
Tommy, good afternoon. The two last debaters, very, very brilliant children. They have done very, very well. Like you said, unfortunately, one will be dropped. Brilliant presentation. Kudos to them, congratulations to them. And I wish all of them the best in their future endeavors. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right, we'll take the last call quickly before we get the verdict. We see Efizi standing by already.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
Take the last call. All right. Okay.
Hello, good afternoon. Welcome.
Okay.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah. Good afternoon. My name is Forgot.
Go ahead, sir.
What the caller that said I'm tears. As a matter of fact, I was thinking I was wet until I heard she too had goose pimples all over her. And since they come there and before you read the comment for that, two need to be in Lagos. I mean, that prejudice the other debaters that will be get, I stand to suggest that this, if there's any way we can police their point based on aggregate for the remaining, I mean, to get the best to best should be. Children are
all right.
And I don't know whose parents, I mean, are wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you for
so much,
that. It's time for God. I feel like he's going to join the protest. It's not the NLCTUC one. This one, the two of them must be in Lagos. That is his own argument at this point. He feels like he should take the best four to Lagos. Remember, 4 of the best will represent Nigeria in for Abuja FCT in Lagos. But for the prize money, we just have to give it to one here, and good luck to the 4 as they try for bigger prize money in Lagos. So, ladies and gentlemen, as we speak, Efizi steps into the studio with a verdict from the judges.
Why are you walking like that, Efizi?
For the first time, I see the debaters a little rattled. They've been calm, composed, and calculated, like Dangote, until the verdict came in. You're tense yourself.
Yes, I am. I'm taking deep breaths. In and out.
I know.
In and out.
I know.
Okay, let's just ease it a little bit. Yes.
It's the first set of the debaters for the round of 8, the quarterfinals. The both of them scaled through the runoffs, the playoff in the round of 16 to get here. And we'll get to see who gets to the finals. Remember, this is brought to you by Press Pay NG. They support student education. They give the funds and the support required. 3J's Restaurant and Hotel also supported this debate with the comfort that is required for the debaters and everyone. And Call to Fly will ensure that we fly the best 4 in style to Lagos for the national. But for the person who goes to the next round,
Kim, are you still with us?
This one say, why pair the best, you guys? Will be a more viable economic option than oil for Nigeria. For his rebuttal, he got 6. His closing score, 6. His style of presentation earned him 17. Overall, he got 35 points. Adeyanju Mahzeeda, who supports the motion for her presentation, she got 6. For her rebuttal, she got 6. For her closing, 5.5. For her style of presentation, she got 13. In a total aggregate, 30.5. It was a very animated, very fiery, very energetic debate between Mahzeeda and Excel. But with a few 4.5, Excel gets to the final of the debate. Congratulations, Excel. Mahzeeda, you were on fire, girl.
Yes, indeed.
You were on fire. I am so proud of you. Your score point is good. Remember, the top 4 represent us in the finals. We get to see what the points add up to eventually and who goes there. But we know for sure Excel is getting to the final. We'll see if we'll get to hear back from Mahzeeda when we get to the national in Lagos. Congratulations to the both of you.
Congratulations indeed.
All right. Let's get 2 phone calls in or 3, and then we'll get to the next round of the debate. 0700 951 0000.
Hello, good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon. Hello.
Hello, good evening.
Welcome. Good evening.
This is Adams calling you from right away.
Go ahead, Adams. Thank you for calling.
I want to congratulate the two debaters in the studio that just passed Mahzeeda and her colleagues. And I want to ask if this platform.
Aww.
Hello, good afternoon.
Oh, what happened? I think the phone line even itself is tense.
Hello, good afternoon.
God, you picked my call. I'm able.
Weren't you expecting us to pick it? You called. Hello, go ahead.
So that you can pick. I just want to commend our debaters. They really did beautifully well. I've been following almost all but today's one was really hot, and I'm very proud of them. I'm happy to be a Nigerian and happy to see that we have students like this. It's very good to hear them talk. And then I'm in the oil and gas sector, and hearing how
he's going to call us, they pay us. It is sweet, them, it is sweet. Something has to give. So we hear you guys.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Welcome.
Tommy and Kimberly. Thank you. Keep it up. Abakar calling from Bangladesh. Congratulations to the debaters. You people who are providing this forum. You are honing the speaking skills of the young minds. And imagine what they'll become eventually when they become leaders on their own. It's a good initiative. This will encourage all listeners who are parents and their own